Oh my god, I'm so choked right now. I heard this rumor that if you add ice to an orchid to water it, it would make the orchid thrive. So I thought, if a little ice is good, why not? A lot of ice must be better, right? A lot of ice has to be better because orchids love ice. I can't believe this didn't work. Oh, I'm so choked right now. I can't believe this. It did. My orchid's destroyed. Well, hello YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you like that little intro there. This is my Phalaenopsis. I accidentally left it outside in January in snow. Don't ask me how it got out there in the first place. I was moving some things around and yeah, it got cold out and my orchid died because orchids don't like ice. And as much as it's sad that I lost this orchid, it's not going to be in vain because we are going to talk about why we do not add ice cubes to orchids. I'm putting that on the floor to get that out of our sight there because I don't want to scare you guys with it anymore. So anyways, there is this horrible rumor on the internet about adding ice cubes to orchids to make them happy and healthy and to water them properly. And that is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. So, yes, I left that orchid outside, and yes, of course it's going to die because it's January out there. But orchids never, ever, ever, Phalaenopsis orchids, when I say orchids, I'm talking about Phalaenopsis. Now, most orchids, 99%, will never see any kind of snow or anything. But we're talking Phalaenopsis orchids here. They are warm-growing plants. They hate cold weather. They hate a cold house. They do not want to be watered with ice. So if you're watering your orchids with ice, please stop. Just stop it. I'm going to show you an alternative, and I'm going to describe why I think this crazy internet rumor got started in the first place. Adding an ice cube to your orchid's roots. These roots are very, very tropical roots. They love humidity. They love warmth. They even have photosynthetic properties. They grow. They like sunlight. All that good stuff of a warm tropical environment. The last thing these roots want is ice cubes sitting on them. Now, you know why this rumor was started? There's a few reasons. There's probably some companies out there that would love for you to water your orchids with ice because then you're going to more likely kill your orchids. An ice cube, you can't just water your orchids with one volume of water. Orchids are all different. Some have big roots, some have little roots, some take lots of water. We're talking all phals, right? When I say orchids, I mean Phalaenopsis right now. They take different amounts of water depending on where they are, what stage of growth, the time of year, the humidity in your house. Adding one ice cube once a week is absolutely ridiculous. That was designed because their theory is if you water less, you won't overwater your plants. Well, that is absolutely true, but it's going to be true with any plant. If you bought a ficus or a ficus tree from the hardware store and you kept it underwater because you never ever let it dry out, it would rot too. So any kind of plant needs a drying before it gets rewatered. You don't want to just keep them in water. But anyways, if you're going to water your orchid, when you're going to water, because you are going to water, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I'm going to show you this orchid here. We might as well look at it since we're looking at it. This is one we've worked on before. It's in bloom right here. We cut the spike here. We actually probably staked this guy together with this bamboo a few videos back. And it's happily in bloom. I brought it in from the greenhouse to do this video here in my house. But anyways, back to watering your orchids. We don't water these with ice because they are tropical plants. They will die if they see ice in the wild. If there is ice in contact with a Phalaenopsis orchid in the wild, it is going to die. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's not going to live. It's going to die. So we want to avoid ice. And we want to avoid ice cold water. If you've been in the tropics, have you ever been in a nice warm, humid rain? It's lovely and warm and not ice cold and shivering like our Canadian rain or wherever you guys live. So I'm going to show you a way that if you can't get away from the ice cube idea because it's good for portion controls, check this out. This is a 1/4 cup measuring cup. This is warm, tepid water from the tap. If you have high total dissolved solids, you could filter it first. If you want to do an ice cube method without doing an ice cube, watch this. There we go. And for the most part, if I did that once a week in the summertime, this plant would probably die because this isn't enough water in the first place for this plant. So that method it's just so full of holes. And I'm doing this video because it's like my #1 requested video on Phalaenopsis orchids. Should I water them with ice? And the answer is absolutely no. It is the craziest thing ever. So anyways, please stop watering with ice. These are not Arctic plants. These are tropical plants. They hate ice. They will die if they ever came in contact with ice in the wild. They don't want it on their roots. Please stop watering with ice. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. So when I set this up on a different note for a different video, my next video, I have #2 question about orchids is water culture. So I'm setting this video up to you know, get ready for it and everything like that. And I'm going to back you up a little bit so maybe you can see the scene a little bit more. So I couldn't figure out how to make this orchid, which came out of my greenhouse, on a hanging wall sit properly because of all the roots and everything like that, and it's kind of topsy-turvy and lopsided. So anyways, I put it in this vase that has this little rocks in the bottom, a little glass fish floating in there that just sits here normally. And I thought of the other question of orchids and water culture. So next video we are going to talk about orchids and water culture, and you can hear my thoughts on it, and we'll go from there. So anyways, guys, as I say, if you like this video and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thanks for watching.